Na na na, come on. I like it. Na na na, come on. I like it. Na 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 na, come on. I like it.
How are we introing this bad boy?
The Rihanna song.
Holy shit, Kobe Bryant just won an Oscar.
Yeah, he did.
Isn't that cool?
Don't give a fuck.
Don't give a fuck. Episode, what number? Something, 6 maybe. That sounds right. No Fun with S&M?
I think so. Something
Episode
around that.
6. We got Thane Fox in the studio.
What's
the
good?
Yeah, and you know, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? And everybody means Sam and Thane.
I just played my very last men's league basketball game of the season, so I'm very excited to retire from washed-up retirement. So that's pretty cool.
How's the family handling it?
You know what? It's not a major change, honestly.
Do you plan to stay in St. John?
No, I'm probably going to take my talents to Moncton.
Understandable.
Yeah. Maybe Berta.
Ooh.
Get out there.
The senior leagues are calling you.
Senior
out
leagues in
Berta.
Berta are wild.
They are. I bet you they are.
Yeah, but you know, if you stay true to your franchise for your entire career, you might win an Oscar.
It's nuts, man.
As we
like,
just learned, it doesn't matter if
Kobe.
you rape someone.
well, you know
You
what?
just have to change your number and say you're sorry. That's
Well,
it.
you
Yeah,
see,
as-
if
as-
you're a white guy and you rape somebody, like your career is over.
As,
if you're a black guy,
as Daniel Tosh said,
Kobe was accused of rape. And all he had to do was settle in civil court for millions of dollars, change his jersey number, win a championship, and that soulless town in LA couldn't be prouder. Yeah, I just hope when parents let their kids run around in number 24 jerseys, they have the decency to be like, well, come on, number 8 was the rapist. 24 just has a great work ethic and an unblockable turnaround.
We did a really good job so far.
yeah, we're off to a great start. A minute and almost 2 minutes in.
We have talked about nothing. So you guys have a pop-up show coming
Yeah,
up.
man, we got a pop-up show. So we got Thane and I are putting on a
Yeah.
pop-up show.
it's a very secret location at the Garden Street Irving. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck! Damn it!
It's in the
blew it.
car wash.
Yeah. So the thing is, right? Like we're in there, we're wearing raincoats, doing comedy, and you just drive your car through, and you just gotta like hook up the radio.
Yeah,
to
just like the
our-
drive-in. You change it to like AM, one of the AM.
One of the AMs. I think it only goes to 5. I don't know.
It's like
AM works. It's like
AM
1 through 5.
176.5.
Yeah, that sounds more right. That sounds more like a radio station for sure. So yeah, that's how we're doing it. You drive through, you get to hear about a third of a bit, and then that's it. And the emission is the cost of a car wash.
Yeah,
I can't believe
so
you're
it's
doing
like
this
$2, but or it's like maybe it's like $5, but you get it like for free with a fill up or something.
Fox
like
and Keenan's comedy car wash.
You're doing this all in God So shower. I can't believe you.
Yeah. Bring your own Hot Wheels, guys.
I was
We're-
sitting on that for so fucking long. God So shower.
that. Shower. What, did you write that a week ago? You're like, just in case.
I knew they were going to talk about it. I'm a piece of shit. I
Well,
really
we do.
did.
Yeah, we got the pop up show. We can't tell you where. We can't tell you the lineup, but we can tell you that if you find us on Facebook, that we will periodically leading up until the like showtime, we will release the lineup. Boom, 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 and then 24 hours before showtime, we'll release the venue. But it's on Kijiji, so that it means it's legit.
Is it?
It's on Eventbrite.
Oh, we're advertising?
We're advertising on Kijiji.
That's
We're
wild.
selling tickets on Eventbrite. They're
I'm
$10.
telling you, if you guys want to get like an audience, you guys are going to have to be
$10 a
obnoxious
ticket.
with the advertising.
I just deleted Facebook like 3 days ago, conveniently at
I
the time
know.
I'm trying
That
to
is
promote a
perfect.
show.
I was like, man, I gotta do this solo, you motherfucker.
Well, that
I'm gonna
means
try
he's
to
in
get
charge
it.
of postering. You got to do the real world work
Yeah,
now.
I'm gonna try to get it through like word of mouth and like actually talking to people.
You're
and
at
no,
the
no,
university
that's-
though too,
what are you
right?
doing?
yeah, I'm in
We
university.
should
I'm gonna
just
try to
print off a bunch of
Yeah.
just throw them. I remember I used to watch movies where they're just like party tonight,
Well, man, like,
BYOB,
a friend
and they
of
just
mine's
throw
a
this
friend of
big
mine-
old fucking
Hey,
bundle
that's
of.
a good. Is it going to be? Is it a place where you can bring your own booze?
No.
So it's
We are
Can we say
trying-
that it's a business, or like give a general idea of where we're
Yeah,
walking
so
into?
the idea for this is to make a comedy show in some sort of business or like local landmark kind of thing, some kind of cool spot that wouldn't normally have a show.
And unique, yeah.
Like, it's never going to be at a bar. It's never going to be at a club. And the point, like, we're not going to turn it into a comedy stage in the place. We're literally, it's going to feel like you are where you are, and there happens to be comedy.
You work at a storefront and you're telling the jokes from behind the till. Like, you got the counter in front
cool,
of you. Because it's kind of like a stage, but not really. It's got the barrier.
I'd like to do one at the bank.
That would be kind of cool. In the vault.
Yeah,
perfect.
Work mentioned that they might potentially be interested. Because that could be a potential thing too. Us standing behind the counter at work doing
Man, you
comedy.
can tell your fucking. You can tell your
the kitchen.
You can tell your. It's not that kind of Chinese restaurant. And you just get glares from.
Well, that's the thing.
Tan.
You know,
I don't know who owns that. I assume it's.
I think I got blacklisted on sponsorship from work once when I started doing that joke.
Yeah.
Because I do that joke in front of my bosses and stuff like that at a fundraiser one time, and everybody knew who they
know
were.
that I'm enjoying a nice small Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Dude, I asked for a small.
Sponsored by
size.
McDonald's. That is a small.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the same size. The Happy Meal one's smaller, isn't it?
Smaller, yeah. Like this seems.
I don't remember.
This is like 10 ounces.
But anyways, no, yeah. So I don't know. I think it'll be cool, different. Hopefully,
I feel like crowd work would be taken
hipster.
to another level where you're not in a normal environment. There'd be so much more.
That's what I'm looking forward to hosting.
You ever
being
seen
there.
David Tell's Road Work?
Yeah.
And he would just address random shit like the
stages,
palm
and he
trees
would,
on
like,
stage, and
I
just
feel like he could have a lot
the
of fun
phone
with
booth.
that.
There was
It's
that
hot.
phone booth that was on the stage that time, and he was talking about that.
Man, do you remember when we were in Miramichi and they just had a fucking hockey game projected on the wall behind us?
Yes, that was fucking. They had a giant fucking 150-inch projector.
Yeah.
And we had no spotlight either. The projector was shining like half a foot above our head, and it was the hockey game.
So everybody's watching
So
hockey, but it
everyone's
looks like
watching.
they're looking
So
at
in
you.
the middle,
Oh
in
my
the middle of Thane's set, he just stops and he turns around and he just starts like shittily narrating the hockey game.
That's the best thing you could do there.
And it
That's
was
a
so funny,
shitty
too.
spot to be in.
Because who was it that was playing? It
It was the Ottawa Senators, and then I was like, and Detroit Angel Tires? I think I said. I was like,
that's it.
it's the
I'm
red
pretty
wing.
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it looks like
I
a
don't-
hubcap with wings on
yeah, I
it.
was like, I don't know hockey.
That's perfect. No,
Yeah.
that's what it is. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Let's roll with that.
It's like the Canadian white guy passes to the Eastern European white guy. He scores on the Russian white guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Hockey is diverse.
I don't know hockey.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a very
More
very
diverse than
strong,
football, I'd say.
very strong lack of vowels in hockey. In hockey player names,
I love those names. Those are the best. You just
Yeah.
get to guess at it.
there's just lots of K's with lines on top. I don't know.
Crazy. That's a name. It's like CRAZJICK. Like, what the?
Word.
You don't need that Z in there.
Man, I remember when I first heard of Dustin Bufflin.
Yeah.
His name is not spelled Bufflin
No.
like it should be.
It's like Befuglin.
Buffuglian. or some
Befuglian.
shit.
Yeah. What the fuck are you getting up to here?
Yeah. He's a
Yeah,
pretty
fuck Europeans,
honestly,
basically. That's what we're saying. You Europeans, keep your fucking janky ass names home, all right? I don't want none
He's
of
a pretty
that.
handsome dude to have the name Buffuglian. He's ripped.
I'm a pretty ugly dude to have the name Laidman.
Change your last names. You can just swap it. Message him like, hey man, you want to change last names?
Sam
No,
Sullivan, man.
We'll trade it, man. We'll trade names.
It's by choice, you guys. It's by choice.
That is way better than the middle school classic Sam Leda man. I'll take celibate man over that any
Pull
day.
a classic hockey trade. You could trade last names for just straight up names and some maybe cash consideration.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
down
throw
with
a
that.
draft pick into like
Somebody
your
could
firstborn
really use
child.
this name, man.
He gets your last name, your firstborn child, and you get his last name and like $100,000 or something
Well,
like
I
that.
want the third born child.
Oh, well, I don't, you could maybe get the third or like.
Those are the ones that
Or
have
like
like
football drafts. How many fucking rounds in football are there?
Seven. Not crazy.
7. You know,
It's not the
and
NBA with 2 fucking rounds and fucking nobody gets to
36.
play. Jesus
And the
Christ.
end, and well, the 797th pick of the 7th round.
They have a name. His name is Mr. Irrelevant, and they usually give him a jersey that
It's
says
just like Ken from Target. He's just your regular guy that you see. He's just a
Well, that's like, you know what I mean. The NBA. There's been some like Hall of Fame level players that were not even drafted or they
Oh,
were
yeah,
picked
there would have to
last.
be. Yeah.
And you're like, the last pick in the last round of the last thing.
Wasn't Steve Nash like?
No,
either,
he
like,
was
way,
drafted
way
early.
late?
He was drafted
pretty
early.
late,
He was
I think.
early in the first round. He was like 12th or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it just
Kobe
seemed
was like
late
7th
for
or 8th.
how sick he was.
Isaiah Thomas, like not old Isaiah Thomas,
Like new
Hall of Fame, but new Isaiah Thomas was
new INT
picked
that's
last.
Really just shit in the bed
Yeah.
this year, man.
Yeah, he was injured, and then he came back for like 12 games, and then he got traded to the Lakers.
He was crushing it in Boston, and then like.
And then Boston traded him, man.
Yeah, well, it was a
Boston
big deal that they
fucked
picked him
man.
up, wasn't it? Like that was real recent. It was either
Boston
this season
got
or
him.
last, wasn't it?
Boston had him for a full season and a little bit of the end season. They got him trade deadline at a couple like 2 years ago now, and then they had him for a full season. And then last year, right before the playoffs started, his sister died in a car accident, and he
played
put his head
amazing,
down and he
though.
fucking played fucking MVP level basketball, dropping like 40 points a game, and led them to the conference finals. And fucking while all this shit's going on, he's like playing, and then he plays, and then on his off days he's going with his family for like that shit, and then he goes and he plays, and then they finish the first the series, and then he goes back for the funeral. Then he comes back and he plays in the second round, and I was like,
That's crazy.
And then they trade him in the offseason. Like, all right,
bastards.
you did a lot for us, and I know that you probably wanted time off to mourn the death of your sister, but you toughed it out and you played some ridiculous fucking basketball. It was one of the games. He dropped like a ridiculous amount of points. It was like what would have been her like 23rd birthday during all this, like a week or two after she had died, and he goes and he just fucking goes off and he drops like a fuck ton of points. And then they're like, all right, we want Kyrie Irving. And they traded him.
At the same time, it's like, why wouldn't you though? Like Kyrie's.
Oh yeah, Kyrie's fucking brilliant, and they're
unbelievable. He's
one of the
grown
best
up.
teams in the league right now.
Yeah.
Fucking Toronto. Toronto's top in the
Toronto's
East.
top. Toronto,
Repping
Boston,
Toronto,
my two
man.
teams, man.
I'm repping the Raptors right now. My 1992 jump coat,
Yeah, man.
jumpsuit jacket that I bought last year.
It's sharp, man. You're bringing it back.
When I was 15, man, I saved up like $150, and it took me like a month to buy this Toronto Raptors fucking collar jacket, and it was like white. It was from Foot Locker, and 3 days in, spilled hot chocolate on it, like just all up on the white.
That's why I don't buy white.
Couldn't get it out,
I don't either.
I never.
Slob.
and I just
I'm a
still
slob.
wore it like every day to school for like a year because it's such a sick jacket. I was
It's
like,
just so dope.
I
It's
only
camo. It's camo print.
I only
Just
buy
fucking
white
You
women.
should just splash more coffee.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
this is
just
the look,
blotches
man.
everywhere.
You smell good all the time. That'd be good.
Yeah, I only buy white women. Everything else is
Yeah.
imported.
Of course. Anyway, moving on from basketball.
Yeah, we're not even okay. Yeah, so pop-up show. I think it'll be cool. We find us on Facebook. That's the main thing. Find us on Facebook. You can email us.
I don't know
too.
if you've said the proper name. Say the Facebook
Oh wait,
name.
Facebook is Facebook/
We don't gotta-
pop-up stand-up,
Okay, yeah.
or just pop-ups. I think it's just pop-up stand-up on
Pop-up
Facebook.
stand-up, yeah. And then our event is pop-up stand-up Uptown SJ, Uptown St. John.
Yeah, that's it. That's only
That's
for
the event
Eventbrite.
inside the...
That's
oh,
just to
okay.
buy tickets.
Gotcha.
But you can find the link through the event page. If you find us,
Okay.
if you look on Facebook for pop-up stand-up, you'll find it. There's like 50 likes on the page right now. So give it a like.
Yeah.
Let's build the hype. Buy some tickets. Tell your friends. It'll be pretty cool. Again, we'll periodically announce lineups and all that fun stuff. What are you saying?
I was talking, what do you think about potentially either... Like, I know we want to get some photography going for it, but potentially having it filmed. Because Andrew Finley, who works at Pristine, he does, like, cinematography and stuff. He filmed Dan Hendrickens.
Oh yeah.
set.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I was talking to him. I mean, he was drunk, but still, he's being very nice and courteous. And he said, like, if I ever like wanted something filmed, he would probably like do it for just like for free. So like,
That's an idea. So we'll
can-
talk to
we
him.
can-
Now
yeah.
you're plugging that he said that on a podcast.
oh no, I'm really
We
pressure.
have-
I'm putting the pressure on.
If you're listening to this,
Andrew Finley, appreciate you big time, and no pressure, but like a little bit.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, no, we could do that. Actually, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I just thought like while I'm here,
I'm planning on picking up a GoPro within the next little bit too, so we could always mount one of those too to get another.
Oh, I
angle.
thought you were talking about like to wear it on our heads as
That
we
would
do
be
stand
fun
up,
to get the audience.
to get the audience.
You know what I was thinking? I was just thinking of this the other day. Maybe I'll work it into a bit. But like, do you think that when they invented GoPros, that they thought that it'd be used in porn? Because like, you ever notice that the POV vision, like, what's the dude wearing? Is he wearing a GoPro?
He's just holding his phone up.
You know what? I think it was more innocent than that. I honestly think GoPros were invented for dogs.
That is a perfect use for it.
You know how many people just want to know like what their dog is like?
I've seen a
what he's
video
looking
like
at.
that. It
That's
was
true.
Tremendous.
What about like also? You ever watch porn and you see that weird clip and it's like it says point of view, but it's not. It's like the point of view of the cock because you just see the back of the balls slapping. and you see
You
right
tried to bring us to a wholesome place, and now you're like, yeah, the cock and balls were right
No,
in your
you know what I mean?
face.
You see like the asshole and the balls are there, and you just see the dick
You're a
going
mess,
in.
Matt.
And
You're
you're
a
like,
fucking mess.
why is it? Whose point of view is this?
It's the point of view of the surveillance cock ring. It's like
That's the cuck point of view.
the cock ring.
Anyways, yeah, I just thought of that when I was thinking of GoPro. It was, I don't know. Yeah, that would be cool if we filmed it. If we had some photography, that'd be cool too. But let's sell it to show. So we got 100 tickets. There's 100 tickets, so buy tickets. That's it. It's $10. $10 is cheap. We're working on, and again, we're not 100% sure, but we're working on getting a charity to do a bar.
Yeah, raise some money for some good people.
Yeah, so hopefully that happens. That would be super cool. And, find us on Facebook, and you'll keep up to date. And you need to find us on Facebook because otherwise you won't know where the show is.
That's right. Although if you follow the boys' Instagram, we'll also release it there.
Well, yeah, you'll find it.
There's other social media platforms.
Yeah,
but mainly Facebook and then also Instagram.
I just mean in general, if
Yeah.
you just don't pay any attention to
Just
social media whatsoever, then you're
Don't
just
be
gonna
like
I
me
don't
and
know.
just get on Facebook. Get on Facebook, people. Don't be like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough plugging on that show.
Yep.
What's oh man, I was saying to Sam before we started podcasting, but 4 weeks today, my album drops.
Yep.
4 weeks today, April 1st, April Fool's Day, which I'm starting to regret now because I'm like, will people believe me if I'm like, hey everybody, my album's out on iTunes now, and they're like, liar.
Yeah, you don't have.
I'll
that
wait till a
album.
day later, just so I don't look like a goof.
It's also Easter. So there's are people
April 1st is
are
Easter?
people gonna believe that Jesus?
Surprise! Jesus isn't real.
I was like wondering,
I
did he
fooled you,
really?
bitches.
Did he
Wait
really come
2,000
back
years.
from the dead? Did he really? He might have been real, but did he really come back from the dead? That's the real. Maybe he came back on April.
I think he was a real
April
dude
2nd.
for sure.
He was a rabbit, and he came
I
back
think he'd be
and
super
threw eggs at
weirded out
everybody.
by what his legacy has turned into.
Yeah, a fat
He'd be
dude.
so uncomfortable.
A fat dude.
You
molesting
should have been at
kids
the
and-
last fucking
rabbit.
improv night.
Yeah,
that was exactly a prompt. That was a prompt that came up, and it was a swing and a miss. You could have knocked that bitch home.
Yeah, Celis
So
was
close
fun,
there.
man. It was a fun
You gotta come
time.
to the next one, man.
He was on the first one.
I was on the
but-
first one. And it was
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
invited him back to the second one too, just because.
No, I don't
Certain
think we
people-
did. I don't think we
I
did.
thought I
I
did,
don't
didn't
think we brought anyone back except for Arif. And Arif, because we didn't want to double up too much because me, you, and initially Arif, but then Arif couldn't do it, so
Son of a
Man, this
didn't
Last
happen.
Dark show this week has a ton of new people.
Yep. I'm hoping that they'll bring out a crowd. That's the big thing. They're funny too, because I saw 3 of them. Their very first set was the other week at Amateur Night at Yucks. I was on the show. I had to fucking
Man, why do people keep doing
take
their
the bullet.
first ever sets at amateur?
Because people don't know, man. People know Yucks because they
Yuck.
have the following. They have the social media following.
Point that bitch more in your face.
But yeah,
that bitch
like that
more
one.
in my face.
Like, man, I remember. Fuck, I bring this up all the time because it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But last time I was at Yuck X, man, there's this dude from St. George, and I won't say his name because I don't remember it. And he just went up there and he told 2 Mullinger jokes, verbatim.
What?
And I mean, he just goes up there and he's like, "You guys, what's the deal with maritime directions? You know what I mean?"
The fact that he said maritime directions in the
he
joke.
just said the name of Mullinger's tour.
Let's do it again. Am I right?
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me, you guys. I've been changing. Oh fuck! I mean, I've been. It was the most. Man, me and the other guys in the green room, we were just hands over our mouths, losing our minds. It was hilarious. I can only imagine what was going through in Steve's mind or other people in the crowd.
That's actually really fun. Yeah,
It was amazing.
You gotta steal someone's jokes who everybody knows in
I
this
can
city.
It was like watching a fucking segment on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Is this real?
Oh man, was his name Rory?
God, yeah, it was.
Rory
Yeah. All right, I know that guy.
Yeah, man, he's amazing. What? He's just. I think he's I feel like he's just.
Oh, is that actually his name?
He's
Okay.
just beautifully oblivious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he's
is.
just
Great
man,
guy.
I just it's like covering a song. I was I'm just paying my respects, man.
Did he really say that?
No, I'm just
You nailed the voice though.
Yeah,
Actually, that
I'm just,
reminds me of him.
I'm just trying to relate to his point of view and not make him out to be an asshole.
I don't think so. I think that's an asshole move. Even if you're ignorant, it's still an asshole move.
Yeah.
You gotta know what you're doing before you know what I mean?
He seems like a nice guy, but yeah, he's he changed it a little bit. He changed it from instead of just regular how do you get to this place, he was talking to his friend about going to a house party. He was like, "Where's your house at, man?" And he's just like, "Oh, it's just right over by where the old Kent used to be." It's just
Same
like,
thing. Maybe he's never heard though. Maybe he's so green
But
that he
even-
really
that'd be
doesn't know.
that'd be
even
amazing.
That would just be like, that is such
K.
a-
Trevor Wilson has like a small town directions bit too, and it's the same thing. Like it's
and
like,
he is a small town guy. Maybe
him
these
going
jokes are
to,
just so
like-
goddamn basic.
yeah.
There's a difference between
step on them all the time.
adapting premises to meet like your own experiences and then just saying something that the semi-famous guy from your actual city said. And
Yeah.
made it big.
Absolutely, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can tell the difference, especially not having been there.
Sure. It was
But,
just really really funny and just like
I would have loved to have been there.
It was just a
but
really fun thing
funny.
to be a part of. For like the worst
If there's
reasons.
any reason to go to Yuck Yucks on a Wednesday night, that is it.
yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it was fun. What can I say? It was fun.
Great, that's good. So you're kind of it seems like you're hitting the stages more. Like
Yeah,
you're,
man,
you're working your way up here. Something.
Yeah,
Building up
December was
something?
probably my biggest month. January. I don't remember.
It is now March.
Yeah, I think it was January. I had like 6 shows in the month, and I was pretty hyped about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the most I've ever done. Like,
So you seem really good, and you're always coming with new material. Why at one point were you not around as much? You were so spotty.
working full time on weekends in the service industry is just couldn't say no to the money.
Yeah, man. I
Yeah.
told you he
Pay-
talked
pay my
about this
rent
on
and
St.
stuff.
John Ford Radio, man.
Yeah, I did
Who
talk
listens
about
to
that.
that?
This is a repeat.
Who listens to
This is
that?
a repeat.
It's a repeat
This-
for you, asshole.
This is the dirty.
I remember our conversation ago 10 minutes ago, okay? It's for the viewers, listeners. Fuck, now you're making me an idiot. Jesus Christ.
For the ear viewers.
Hey, can I get the...
It's no, man. Just don't even worry about it.
I'm worried about it.
No, because I'm doing something, but you just fucked it up now. I was trying to make this cool little video of us all while we're podcasting.
Well, it's working.
We don't have a
It's working
professional
really
video,
well.
but now you got like you're like, oh, can you get rid of the backdrop that we have?
I didn't know. I wasn't looking at you.
That's my theme voice.
Jesus.
Oh fuck. Yeah. I'll put it back up.
But yeah, so like, is this going to be a continuing thing? Are you going to keep hitting more shows now? What's changed?
Oh god, yeah.
What's different?
Man, I'm just I'm out here enjoying it more. Just a more positive life routine. I got routine in my life, feeling good, having fun, and
But you're still doing the same things? Like, you're still just as busy and you're just
no, not
finding
at all,
the
man.
time?
Like I never work anymore.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I made more money doing comedy in the last 2 months, almost, maybe arguably, than I have at my work, because it's I work at the Rothsay Golf Club and it's not golf season.
Oh
so
yeah, well that makes sense.
There's
That makes a lot of sense.
there's not many weddings and events in the dead of the winter. I hosted a ladies' night trivia. No, I didn't host it. Sorry, I bartended it, and it was just a lot of fun. Just a lot of 50-year-old women drinking white wine
That sounds.
and not knowing anything about modern pop
Could
culture.
you imagine the Cougars?
It was incredible.
It would just be.
Yeah.
There'd be a zoo in there.
Oh, it's great. It's great, man.
So that's at the golf course, and that's like
That's
the
at
last thing you
golf course.
did.
Yeah, like that was like 2 weeks ago. That was the last time I worked, and
Shit.
I've worked like 2 shifts since the New Year's Eve.
I was thinking this was
Holy
gonna be like
fuck,
some
man.
kind of life lesson thing, like mo money, mo problems. I'm gonna do what I want to do. It's
No,
just like, nah, the
man.
work dried
It's
up
just
and so now I'm here.
there's just nothing going on right now. Like I'm just.
Well, I'm
focusing
glad
on
you're
school.
around anyway.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I
Yeah,
like that.
it's good.
Yeah, we
it's
love
good seeing you.
us some Thane Fox on the comedy scene.
Yeah, especially now that we're doing shows, we want to put on good shows. So if we could,
God, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
We could
here.
have
I'm here
more
for
good.
I'm here for
More
for the
good.
for the boys.
Ferda. All right, well that's good to know, man. That's good to know.
Yeah, we out here.
We out here.
Jesus Christ, man! I feel like I'm like behind the times now on the slang.
Oh, dude,
Well, it's like we're
just
sitting
saying.
with Justin Timberlake right
Hanging
now.
with
He
the
said
young
something
kids.
was hot earlier. He said that's hot. I was like, what the fuck?
I did.
Well, that's because Thane.
Oh, man.
Thane's a young kid.
That's
man.
man, like that's not a thing that people say. Like
No,
I
no,
say
no.
weird shit.
I know.
I say
We're
weird
like- we're
shit all the time, like,
I know
Hey,
people
like-
don't say that thing.
you know why I say that's hot, and it's funny. I have a buddy. He's like 30 years old, which in compared to me, I'm 21. But anyway, one of my good buddies is 30 years old. He's from England, and we were last year we were watching WWE Royal Rumble with a group of boys because it's just a hilarious time.
Yeah.
I don't need to defend that. Royal Rumble is madness.
No,
and
dude,
it's amazing.
you're a comedian. You know how many comedians like wrestling?
All
for
of
some
them.
reason?
That's what I
the
mean. I
weirdest
don't
thing.
have to.
I
I
don't
don't have to
Travis,
defend it.
Dan.
So anyway, we're watching
Maybe
Royal
that's it,
Rumble,
but-
and my English buddy just stops, like we were all just talking, having a laugh, and he just goes, "This is so hot." Like, this is so hot, and like
Just say
he
that
didn't.
about wrestling.
But like
Like
he
in an
didn't mean
attractive
it about
way.
no, like
I have an erection.
he
right
didn't
now.
mean it like that's the thing. Like it was
Oi.
so weird. He
Oi,
didn't mean
mate.
like he didn't mean like these oiled up like jocks throwing themselves around. He didn't mean like they're hot. He just means like this is hot. Like this is such a great time. This is like It's just hot. It's happening. Like this is.
I don't think it translates,
he meant
man.
the moment. Like he was
I
referring
don't think
to the
that one's going to
moment.
cross the ocean. I think you're
was-
going to be the only one.
That's fine, and I just think it's funny, man, to just be like, man, like this is fucking hot.
I thought it was funny.
We're out here, we're podcasting. It's hot,
I remembered it, and that was fucking at least 20 minutes
and
ago,
also like when
so.
I say it in my head, like it's spelled H-A-H-T. If that makes any difference to you guys.
What?
H-A-H-T, like it's
Hat.
hot.
Oh, H-A-H-T?
Yeah, it's hot.
Okay, I thought you said H-A-A-T, and I was like, what? No. And then I thought you said H-A-8-T, and I was like, I don't know what that means at all.
It sounds like something a boy band would say in the 90s. That's hot. That's hot. Maybe Paris Hilton a couple years later.
That's.
Remember she tried to trademark that shit? Fucking idiot. But dumbass.
Yeah, Paris Hilton's only good for like blowjobs and.
Not even that. Did you see the
Yeah,
fucking
that's
video?
true. I did
Jesus.
see the video.
That was so long ago. We can't talk about that on this podcast.
Keeping it topical. Celebrity
like-
blowjobs, am I
Guys, we
right?
didn't have a podcast in 2005. If now isn't the time, when is?
Yeah, well, you know.
It's true. We have a lot of catching up to do. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
let's
that.
talk about.
John
Remember the
Mulaney
big
bit where he
pimpin'
just-
video? Jesus
pimpin'?
Christ, those girls.
Do you remember when Hitler killed the Jews?
Man, nobody's heard that.
Has anybody ever reviewed that? Did you guys hear about
No,
that
not
before?
I didn't get to
podcast.
share my opinion to the world at the time.
I wasn't around. This is my
Guys,
chance.
can we just for a moment? Can we,
Wait, what do you think
just-
about Nazis?
Please, no. I'm not even that. Way to try.
That's what happens, man. We got a fucking mic stand for a reason.
You know what?
Knock it
A
down, you
podcast
motherfucker.
mic drop doesn't really resonate as much as on stage.
Especially when it's still attached to the stand.
But can I just circle back to what I was about to say?
Go ahead. You go right ahead.
Can you imagine if like the world had social media in 1939 and throughout that time? Like all the people just updating their status like Hitler's the worst. Like fuck.
No, like if fucking Anne Frank. If Anne Frank, they look at her Snapchat location, like I found that bitch.
Anne Frank is bored.
They're just like she's Snapchatting in the fucking floorboards.
Yeah,
and they're like, wait a minute, I know that location.
Oh god.
Find my iPhone.
I was thinking more of it. She's just like under there for so long, just like updating her status. She's just like still just cramped up.
Writing in my diary.
Yeah. Oh god.
I'm impressed. What did she use? Did she use like the light off her iPhone to write in the diary? Like, what did she use to see?
I feel
Really
like
good handwriter.
her eyes just adapted like the Falmer in Skyrim. Like,
I think that's what happens when you suck the moisture out of a floorboard for a month. Your eyesight gets a lot better.
Yeah, it's like that. You ever watch that movie? Like it was that The Cave or one of those
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
with the creatures and shit.
Yeah, it was
and they were
wild.
they used to be humans that got like trapped in there, and they
Yeah.
just like
man, that
got all
freaks me
fucked
out.
up to like adapt to their surroundings, and then they had like children that were
Evolution?
all fucked up.
Yeah,
Essentially.
movies with like strange human morphoses like
Yeah,
freak me out. Any kind of person that's like barely a person, like any kind of humanoid, is like,
Like the elephant
I hate
man.
the fucking
Weirds me
children.
out.
I hate those.
yeah,
ones
like
with,
that real guy
The
who
Omen
just
or
like
some
struggles
shit.
with like an illness. It's like, dude, don't be real.
Yeah,
No,
get out of here.
I just
don't wanna
hate. I
think
hate.
about you.
I hate
Be
possessed
fiction.
children.
Possessed children
Because
doesn't bother me.
if I like see a kid look at me the wrong way now in real life, I'm like, oh, I want to fucking kick that kid in the
Well,
face.
yeah, but like that's the thing is that you can like if a possessed if it was like I
You
don't
can
mean,
kick that kid in the face.
I don't
Do it,
mean
man.
I don't mean that kid, but I mean like if there was actually a possessed child that like ran at you, it's like it's
Just
still
like,
the
boom.
body of a child. It's not doesn't have super strength. It's just like it's it's 3 feet tall. It's pure evil, but like at the same time, what's it capable of?
That is true, really.
Literally,
It
like
shouldn't be
pick
able
it
to
up.
like just jump up and fucking kill you because it's a fucking kid. You should just be able to kick it in the face, and then it'd be like, it's like
That's what I'm saying.
it's out for at least
Like
10
the
minutes.
Chucky movies, I can't even watch them.
Yeah, it's a fucking doll. Like, really, why is it a doll?
Put
Why
it
you
in the
having
laundry bin. Like
It's made of plastic.
Put it in the fucking washing machine.
anything.
Drown that motherfucker.
Like he's holding a knife. Yeah. He doesn't have fucking malleable grip. He's a doll.
You just nudge his arm. It's gonna
He
fall.
he doesn't have a wrist. He can't like swing it. He just gotta
No.
literally.
His whole body, he has to fall over. He's got to like literally fall over to make a stab motion. Does he just slide? Does he just slide across the floor? Like, can his legs do like?
He just waddles like a penguin,
If he
doesn't he?
slides, tile. Just the ground and tile. Eat shit.
Oh my god.
Fucking movies.
Jordan Peele nominated for 4 fucking Oscars for a horror movie. That's a pretty big deal.
And he's black too. I just remember
black,
like a
he's
couple years ago.
comedian. He's married to Chelsea Peretti.
Just a couple of years.
No, just a couple of years ago, that fucking Will Smith and all them were like boycotting the Oscars because there was no black nominees when Chris Rock was hosting it, and then Jordan Peele gets nominated for like 4. He's he's black and a comedian. He's married to Chelsea Peretti. Yeah, anyone who's married to Chelsea Peretti deserves Oscar nominees.
Yeah.
If you can put up with that fucking nose.
I was just gonna say, man. I was just gonna like, not specifically the nose.
That
but
was
just,
the
like,
only hurdle in his fucking career was
only
getting
thing-
past that. Like,
The only thing more tolerant than nominating Jordan Peele for 4 Oscars is being married to Chelsea Peretti.
like no, he thought that he had a big nose, and he was like,
Well,
That's
he's
a
got
feminist
he's got the
icon.
width. She's got the
girth.
I was gonna say I don't know if it counts as
"There's the
girth
girth or the length."
because it's.
It
not
would be
even
like a
necessarily
normal sized
long.
penis if you combine them.
It's just like
together.
take the bridge and then just like pull it out from your face at like a tangent.
shout out
kinda-
to Chelsea Peretti.
It's literally
Shouts
Lois
out.
Griffin's nose.
I haven't said anything rude about you, Chelsea. Please take me on
Chelsea
tour.
Peretti, you're incredible, but your nose looks like half a sandwich.
It's Lois Griffin,
Like
man.
cut the fun way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The diagonal
Holy
cut.
fuck.
Man,
Fun sandwiches,
if
mommy.
your mom ever cut your sandwich vertical,
She hates
no-
you.
she hates
with-
you.
She used to cut mine vertical and my sister's diagonal, and I never understood until now. Oh.
Oh man! Like the day that my mom cut my sandwich vertical, she followed up by telling me Santa wasn't real.
One day she cut it horizontal. I don't know.
And then you just knew you're like, who are you, Dad? Like,
The next day, my parents got divorced.
yeah.
It's dark times.
Oh,
Bringing down the house with divorce. All
I
right.
love the lull after some banter,
Yeah, we get it.
where every member involved they just get that.
We're like, okay, we've riffed enough. What
Yeah.
next?
Yeah, at least we're all on the same page. We're like, yep, that's enough of that.
Yeah, it went on for a little bit, and then we didn't completely beat it to the ground, and that's good. We're learning.
This is like a
we've-
real podcast
we've
until we
come a
stop and
long
acknowledge
way.
how much of a real podcast it is. Then it's not a real
We've
podcast anymore.
we've come a long way from the early stages of our podcasting, where we were just like, okay, we've been talking about this for an hour and a half. Plus, we talked about it on the last episode.
Yep.
Let's stop talking about Louis.
Just a whole bunch of Louis and rape and hey, you want to talk about rape?
Nah,
Hey,
man.
you look like a guy who rapes.
I don't think I do. For the listeners who haven't seen me, I don't.
We're gonna send pictures. You
look-
can you can let us know.
Yeah, that's fine. Boy, I think that this is a good fucking topic for some banter. I don't like being the one to bring it up because it makes me look like I don't know, like I give a shit. But you
Never
know
give a
how
shit.
you know I have a bit about like my past relationship being like being on The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Okay, so my ex-girlfriend that bit is inspired by is on Big Brother Canada.
Your ex-girlfriend is?
She's on Big Brother Canada. Like she's going to be like a Canadian reality TV star.
Star.
And that's
oh
a
my
real
god,
thing.
you use the word star.
She's gonna
attached to
be a
that.
star because she's fucking
And now
bubbly
you're gonna
and
be like,
everyone's
fucking
gonna love her.
morons.
Damn it.
She's gonna win.
This bit is
Whatever.
almost real now. If it was only The Bachelor.
Well, that's the thing, and it's weird.
I heard that there was St. John. Is there another one from St. John that's
No,
gonna be on
that's
it?
her.
So I heard someone, but I didn't know who.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I didn't see
Yeah.
that story.
And hey, house guest, I lived with her for 6 months. Enjoy.
Yeah, we'll call this Big Brother Canada. I mean,
Nah,
we'll get some
she's
traction.
fucking tidy and chill. You guys are gonna like her.
Like
Is
the
she-
Big Brother house
is
cares.
she-
Like, do you do the dishes though? Like,
Is she bringing her cat? That is the question.
No, man,
I might still have audio of you doing
I don't
that
know.
bit.
I don't know
You
what
can
her.
plug it.
I don't know what her cat situation is, but her cat sucks.
Fuck, man. That's pretty cool. I thought about like auditioning for Big Brother, but I was like, man, I am way too just not given. I don't want to talk to people.
do you know how sad those people become? There's nothing else to do after you.
Right. Like after
This
you're on
isn't.
Big Brother.
I don't understand how you think this is a good thing. That's the beginning of the end for a person.
Yeah. No, I
That's
think
the-
I
that's
think
a-
it's pretty fucked, but it's like a
That's
cool
the
experience.
peak of, you know what I mean? Unless you keep doing, you could get invited back to
Well, like
celebrity
Big Brother,
shit
it's
and-
like a game show.
Yeah,
it's
I get the
it's not
concept.
quite
I've
the
seen
same
it
as
because
it's not
people
quite the
No,
make
same.
I don't
audience.
give a shit about anybody else. I just
It's
thought it'd
not
be
the
cool
same
for
as, like-
me
Well, no,
because
especially
I'm a comedian.
because you want to be famous. But
I don't even want
know.
to. I just it would. If
Just
people like,
for me,
oh,
it's
that
such a
guy's a
who gives a fuck,
comedian.
like,
That's all you need to
whatever.
see. Matt Keenan, he's from New Brunswick. He doesn't give a shit about being here, and he's a comedian. And they're like, hey, he's a comedian. And then they look me up, and either I gain a few followers or I lose all of them.
Yeah.
So
that I
you're not
already
with
have.
her anymore. So I'm just everybody on those shows. The criteria is attractive and full of shit. So
Man, I don't know.
fuck
Not so
that.
much like last season had one of the guys from ASAP Science who's like legit like PhDs and shit, and he's pretty cool. And like
Yeah,
they
but
get
if
a
you-
mix. They get people to fill the archetypes, man. They get some people that are
We
like
had St. John had
really
New
smart and
Brunswick had
capable.
Dallas Cormier. A couple
He's a
weeks ago, right?
fucking yeah. He was a retard on that show. He was one of those like fill the void, fun to watch, maritime Ricks.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a you know
Reality TV just bums
cool
me
guy.
out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's grown on me because it's so dumb that like I'm really developing a philosophy of kind of not giving a shit about stuff and just enjoying things for what they are. And reality TV, while it's terrible and garbage and waste of time, sometimes the most natural, like non-planned comedy comes out of it.
Yeah,
because
I
of
can see
how
that. I can see
shitty
that.
the
Well, you have
people
all these
are.
dynamic people.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily shitty. I was going hard on it, but
Yeah, no, as you should in a lot of cases.
basically the
but-
point is to go in there and play up whatever you have as a personality. Just times it by 10 and go on TV. It's like, well, that's not how real people act.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as Facebook to me. It's except exaggerated because it's a small amount of people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's entertaining.
Fairly, I mean, yeah.
There's a lot of
gonna
people that
watch
like,
it.
and it is they like the drama. Is that my keys?
Chick-fil-A, Burbank, California. Like your post.
Yeah, fucking Chick-fil-A, man.
Slide in my DMs, would you?
Way
Send
more
me some
important.
coupons.
Look,
We should change the logo to Chick-fil-A
Hey,
just for a couple weeks.
Hey, Chick-fil-A, just so you know, we're recording this on a Sunday.
Okay, I love that this Chick-fil-A page. This Chick-fil-A page is like Chick-fil-A Burbank coming soon. It hasn't even opened yet.
I know they're trying to. And I'm like, we're not even from California. What makes
Yeah.
us think that you're? Well, that's what I want to do. I want to drive 107 hours just to
That's
get some
really
Chick-fil-A.
strange.
They want to
I'd
give you a
wind up-
gig.
We'd end up getting there on a Sunday.
Pop up, stand up
fuck.
in Burbank.
Let's do a pop-up stand-up
Let's do
in
it.
Chick-fil-A Burbank, but we'll only promote it in St. John.
Well, man, actually, you know what? We could.
Book a bus.
We'll have to. We'll tag them in it, man. We'll tag them in it and then the podcast.
We'll
Maybe they'll listen to it and they'll be like, "Hey, let's do it." Because they did. They actually commented on the pop-up post.
I'd
that I
like to
posted,
have
and they're like,
Chick-fil-A
"Oh, that's a cool
Burbank as
idea."
a pen pal, and just catch
pen
up
pal.
here and there. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like,
Just treat that Chick-fil-A store like it's a person.
especially if they give you recipes. If you're
I'm
like,
gonna
how do you make your
DM them
chicken?
after the club at like 2:30. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, you up?"
You up? You got any chicken?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about you.
Drive through.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A followed me and then they unfollowed me, but then they followed me again and they've liked my shit and they commented on it. It's like, I feel like we're a big deal thing
Chick-fil-A's thirsty.
for some Thane and
some
Matt.
comedy.
Yeah, there's you know how it is, man. That's hot.
That's hot. I love when the boys like steal your terminology and then just adopt it. It's a big
Adopt it.
moment.
Adopt it or yeah, we adapt to your material. Yeah, we adopt it.
I ruined
We
the
adopted
Adapt.
and adapted. We're doing
Both.
everything.
Everything, man.
Science.
Fucking everything. We yeah, I was saying earlier, the album is dropping soon, and you can pre-order it on iTunes in 2 weeks, man. That's exciting.
I liked it a lot. Pre-ordered it on iTunes. So like, is it going to be the kind of thing where if I subscribe to Apple Music, I can just listen to it?
Yeah,
Sweet. I like that.
yeah, and I have physical copies coming. Sunrise Records in St. John is gonna.
What about Sunray Variety on Waterloo? You should sell
Maybe
it
I
there.
should actually try it. I got a thing for Suns.
Yep.
Also,
I've got a thing for sons. I don't care how old they are. I don't care if they're only childs.
I was gonna go in the Asian route and say, speaking of Suns, the Asian people that own Market News and Market Square are also gonna sell it.
How is that Asian?
Sun, like Sun is an Asian name.
Oh, okay. I got you. Sorry.
That was the Asian. You went with the pedophile route, which, as you should,
Obviously.
If I
Big
said,
thing for sons.
if I said I have a thing for sons, why would you think? Does he have a thing for Asian women, or just like children of the male variety?
You didn't even say it was women. Just be sons.
Oh,
Sun
fuck.
Tzu.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna at some point in the play, maybe right now, I'll just plug a clip, and we'll, yeah, just a little clip, because Thane hosted the show, you hosted the album recording, and so you're featured on the intro.
I did a good job.
So we're gonna.
He's a good boy.
You spilled, and the best part, my favorite part of the whole album is you're like, I spilled wine on my hand, but that's okay, or something like that.
Is that in the album? Oh my god. I can't wait to hear it.
Are you guys ready for the fucking headline of tonight? Yeah! You guys ready to see what we all came for? Matt Keenan, first ever comedy album. I spilled wine all over my hand. This is okay. He won 2017 James Mullinger Comedy Boot Camp. He's done more shows than anyone in the city this year. He's on a fucking rampage in this comedy scene. You all came to see him. You bought tickets. Ladies and gentlemen, put it together for Matt Keenan!
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? I gotta move this. We got a tree on the stage, so the show's already gonna be better than the last one. Give it up for everybody you guys saw tonight. I am regretting looking funnier people than me. That was an error on my part. How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Woo! Yeah, woos are good. Woos are good. Already more energetic than the last crowd, too. If they wooed, it was in their head, so they did not make any noises. So it was hard to understand what was going on. We got mostly a full crowd too. I mean, it was a sold-out show, so I don't know where those people are, but you know, there a few people like, "Oh, I can't make it," but at least they gave you my money, and I was like, "Oh, that's perfect. I'll just put $15 on the chair and hope it has a better sense of humor than you."
I was probably 42 ounces of white wine in, and
Had to be.
yeah.
Yeah, you drank a lot because I think you were the only one who dipped into the white wine. I was like, "Fuck, why did I get a box?"
Yeah, I was like no one was
What
gonna
if I fucking
drink
bought
it.
a box? I couldn't return it, and I was like, "God damn it! I should have bought bottles."
Yeah. I was just like an eager mom that like got off work late and is trying to catch up with her like gal pals. I just kept running out of the bar. White wine, please. Like, just reaching over people.
Oh fuck, yeah, it was good. I mean, I was pissed off. I've been like in this weird slump since then because I got pissed off because of so many people backed out the day of.
I backed out a day before. I gave you a day's
you
notice.
gave me a few days' notice. You said that you didn't think you could make it because you had to work.
Yeah.
Because you got scheduled, you booked it off, or you tried to get it.
Yeah, they didn't give me my request. I didn't really book it off. I asked for it off, and they didn't give it to me.
And that was fine too. And there was people that gave me it, but there was like a dozen people between the two shows that told me the day of, and then there was like another fucking 15 people that bought tickets and didn't show up.
That makes the least sense.
And
to
like.
me.
The one, what just annoyed me was just the fact that I added a second show because the first show sold out, and then I was like, between the two, I could have just done one show.
It's still good though. You
would've
got
been a
to
full-
do the material twice though, right?
I did get to do it, which was fine, and it helped out because I think it just ran so much smoother the second time through it. But it was just annoying looking out and seeing empty seats that were supposed to be full,
Oh, of course, yeah.
and knowing that between both shows, I could have just done one packed show. And the laughter would have been better because it's like I know.
It's okay,
listening,
we'll double track the laughs, man.
Yeah,
We'll go in,
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
steal other laughs from other places and paste them in.
That first show though, like people were like it was like I don't know if it was because it was earlier, or if it was because like it was all family. Like there was a lot of family in the first show.
There was I had
it was
two cousins there. My sister was there with her boyfriend.
Like the mean age seemed to be like 45.
And
then
there
the
was,
second show,
and then there was just a handful of other
25.
people. One of the girls that I work with that I used to work with, her mom saw me at KV High when I did a fundraiser there last year, and she was like, "I really want to see Matt when he goes dirty." And then she had never seen me before, so her daughter bought tickets for her as a Christmas gift,
Right.
Which was kind of cool. And like as a whole, like
That's pretty nice. Like
the album went well. There was probably only 25 people there, right? For
the first one or second one.
both. I think there was less at the first one, but the second one I still think that there was like
You
15
think?
people that weren't there. I think there was probably 20 at the first and 25 at the second. There should have been 40 at both.
Okay.
And
It seemed good to me, but again, white wine.
yeah, no, and I'm not even complaining. It was just that shitty feeling of looking at, and that's how I introed the track too. That's why I introed it, referencing the fact that there were empty seats, even though it was a sold out show.
Right.
And that got a good laugh, and I was happy about that. But it was just more like, I guess, listening back to it, and I'm like, there's times where it's just like, if 5 people aren't laughing, it's noticeable.
You got to get everybody.
Because there was
big
only like
percentage.
25
Yeah.
people, and then there was also, and then another problem too. The first show especially was comic heavy, so I was like, half of these people, there's only 20 people showed up, and half of them have already seen me perform this a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the thing.
It was-
So that's what I just went with the.
I would
went
have
with
fake laughed for you.
I went with the second show for the entire thing because there was less comments and it was a fuller crowd and a livelier crowd.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not even going to pick and choose between different. I'll just do the whole thing and that's it.
Nice. Okay.
And 45 minutes, which is pretty cool. It sounds good. I like it. I'm happy with it. And people should buy it. That's the basis of what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I got physical copies coming soon and April 1st, man. April Fools.
Support local artists, still holes.
Yeah, for sure.
it.
Support it. It's gonna.
It's a cool cover album too, or cover art too. So physical copy is actually worth buying. I think.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to, and it's fucking I got super fucking depressed because like, I thought it went well, but I was just pissed off that people didn't show up. And it was like, if I knew ahead of time, because I had people that were like, oh man, everyone to come to your show, but you posted that it was sold out. And I was like, I know. And I was so fucking busy that day of running around, making sure, get the liquor, get the lighting, setting shit up, just doing all this shit that I wasn't focusing on this. And I just keep, someone else, fuck. And I was like, God fucking damn it. If I knew ahead of time, I would have been like, oh yeah, there's still tickets available. Come to the door or whatever. And so then that didn't happen. And then there was just people that had bought tickets that didn't show up that I also expected to be there. So that kind of just pissed me off from the beginning. And then I I spent a lot of money getting this thing put together. I threw in a chunk of my money, right? And that's the thing when you're going independent and you don't have people backing you. Because like, and with also, too, another thing, with the people that didn't show up to the show that said they were coming and the people that didn't fucking pay, that's more money out of my pocket that I had to invest into the album. Because I didn't profit. I broke even on the show, but then I had to invest money to record the album. I had to invest money on the artwork. I had to invest money to put it up online, invest money to get physical copies.
Yeah.
And I was like, it would have been just cheaper if...
Well, what, are you going to get a major label deal? Like,
No.
I mean, I know it sucks, but it is what it is. There's not many other options right
it's
now.
just okay. So $1,000 is what I spent of my own money
Yeah.
investing into this thing, and it was like between the two shows there was 15 people at $15 a ticket that didn't show up. What's that? $300?
Yeah.
Right there, $300. That would have been only $700 of my money. It was a big chunk that I was just kind of pissed off because I paid Thane and Joe and Chris to do 2 shows, and I paid to rent the venue longer just to have people, the equivalent of one show up between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
absolutely.
Fuck, it could have been cheaper. But, I don't know. I'm good now because I'm
Worth it.
in
Worth
a
it in the end,
much
right?
better spot. I'm caught up financially. I'm all that shit's out of the way, and now it's just keep doing comedy. But it fucked everything, man, because my writing, I couldn't fucking I would try to write, but it was just all this. I was thinking of money problems. I was thinking of just random little shit that I wouldn't normally think of that was just bothering me.
Yeah.
And it was just I was I would try and write, and I just couldn't fucking write, man. But,
That's why people get managers.
Yeah, to write for them.
That's why I have a manager.
I don't know. That was just a tangent that I went on because the last week I was just fucking. My head was just a mess.
Everyone's manager.
John Nesbitt. Yeah, here's their updated headshot. It's a drawing. That is not what he looks like.
Man, Joe's skull Joe's skull was shaped like a haircut.
I don't think I've seen this.
He drew like a
Square,
drawing.
a square,
Joe-
the fade. It's like fade, but it's a squared head.
He drew it when Joe had like a buzz cut,
Sure.
but then his skull in the drawing is shaped as if he has like a
Flat top or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's shaped like a haircut.
His head he's got no hair, but his head just goes up like he's got that flat top going on.
Yeah.
So we're talking Joe Butler.
Yeah.
Kill me.
That's a good. It is a funny picture. Yeah. I love Nesbitt though. Nesbitt left his.
He's amazing.
He left his fucking phone in my car last week after the Cell List show, and I never knew. I don't know where he lives. You're looking at it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got these big beady eyes, and his jaw is all the one side.
Find Joe
and
Butler.
His hands are like.
Find Big Love Joe Butler on Instagram, and he's got that picture on Instagram. You can check it out so you know what
Looks
we're
like
talking
someone
about.
running away from Nagasaki. Like that's what it looks like. He's just all crippled. He looks like a burn victim a little. Sorry, Nesbitt, I love you, but that is
But you know
bad.
what? Maybe that's what Joe should look like. I think that's what we're saying.
I feel
It's
like I'm
like,
so much more optimistic than Sam because my takeaway from that drawing.
could you
was,
imagine
his
though?
skull looks like a haircut,
Could you imagine though if everybody in the
and you're like, he looks like he went through the worst part of history, like ever, physically and otherwise.
could you imagine if like
well, that's just Joe day to day, though.
could you imagine if we had like a TV show of like our comedy scene and all of us it was just fucking John Nesbitt did the artwork and that was just
That would be trippy. That would be a very weird cartoon.
you just feel like you were watching it on acid or something.
yeah, there are shows like that.
It would be funny though. It's got this like Angela Anaconda feel to it or something.
Yeah. Oh my god, forgot all about that show.
That show was freaky.
Because it's like the real head's on this weird fucked up
Took you
cartoon
to, like,
body.
another realm of reality. I hate
You guys ever see? I saw the other day Moral Oral. Do you know what that is? It's a Cartoon Network show. It's
I've heard of it. I don't
Moral oral.
It's
That
got to be
sounds so
the
fucking
darkest. Like it makes fun of all like the Christian claymation. You know, they had those weird choppy Christian shows, but it's just the darkest, most drug-induced thing you could imagine. Check it out, everybody.
Man,
worth
anything that like takes place in a version of reality that doesn't fit ours freaks me out. Like Tim Burton stuff, like Nightmare Before Christmas. When I would watch that as a kid, like it would make me like whatever a child's version of suicidal is. Like I wouldn't think about killing myself, but like I feel like what that probably feels like. Like I just feel like
I would like it if the world stopped now.
Yeah, like
I don't want to die, but if everything stopped, that'd be cool.
I feel like I no longer have any connection to anything.
All around me are familiar faces, and you're just staring wide-eyed, like, oh no.
It's freaky, man. I don't like that shit, so I probably would not be into more oral. I feel like
No,
that'd be
definitely not.
More oral? What?
Moral oral.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you said I wouldn't be into more oral.
Everybody's always into more oral. Doesn't matter who you are.
When I was a child watching Tim Burton, I was getting blown. By,
We
like,
should, we should really celebrate that
by
point. That
my
brings
male
people together.
babysitter. That's probably why I felt so weird. I was just numb to the abuse.
Oh god.
Holy fuck.
Well, at least you were numb. It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Better
that
than
is
not.
true. It's
Better than not.
Yeah, yeah.
it was for protection.
Holy
Gross. All right. Sorry, we brought you down that alley.
all right.
What else is new? What's going on with you?
Yeah, man.
What's new in your life?
Man, I'm in March break. I'm very, very happy about it.
Very nice.
Yeah, got some studies to do.
So this shit's almost over for you then, school?
Dude, I have a month left, and then I have 2 more years after that.
Okay. There it is.
1 month and then 2 more years.
What are you taking?
Whatever that
Education.
equals.
Okay.
It's gonna
there
be a
you
teacher,
go.
man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a teacher.
You could be a teacher.
Yeah, if they'll let me.
Are they gonna call you Mr. Foxy?
I want to be called Fantastic Mr. Fox.
That would be dope.
Yeah. And hopefully by then I'll have a really good George Clooney impression. Right now, I do not.
Otherwise, that is worth
How
nothing.
is it right now? Let's test it out for the
I don't
listeners.
even know. Like, I feel like George Clooney is just, he's very like, yeah. Oh no, I can't even do it. Like,
It's just
his voice comes from like back here. It's like, it's like very.
yeah,
Like,
it's really throaty. Really
it's very
back of the
throaty,
throat.
like in a masculine way, but also in a way where it's just like you hear the individual like air movements.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Airy.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Harry.
mean?
Yeah, I get you.
It's like rather than it's not smooth. It's like it doesn't like he couldn't sing.
Mm-hmm.
George Clooney couldn't sing because like when he says like if he would be like it's not like it's like there's a crackle.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to overanalyze
I
George
think
Clooney's
you
voice.
kind of got it though. Keep working on it.
I like I love your Owen Wilson,
yeah.
and I love your station ideas for John St. John Forward Radio.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working on my Sam Elliott.
It sounded like I thought he was
Man.
doing Matthew McConaughey at first.
No, man.
Same guy.
I'll try to differentiate the two right now. So this is what I was going for. The Sam Elliott. It's like if you find yourself standing on a rocky mountaintop with an ice cold Coors Light,
Yeah, that's good.
like
man.
that's what I was going for. And then like McConaughey would be like, "Hey man, if you find yourself like it's like
Yeah.
more like
It's
that.
a little bit more
It's
airy,
back
like we
there.
were saying
Yeah.
about Clooney. It's got that.
Yeah, it's more like
Yeah.
that Clooney thing. Yeah, man, it's like you
Just
find
don't
yourself.
move the edges of your mouth. Only talk with the middle part.
If you find yourself on a capsized rowboat under the freeway, you
good,
probably
man.
had a pretty wild peyote experience, man.
This actually brings me to a question I had that you do voices. You had one voice. And I know you've talked about this before. That with the cat joke that you were telling how your girlfriend loves your cat more than you, and you have this voice that you had before Chris D'Elia, so I hear.
Yeah,
but
it's
Well,
not
maybe
necessarily
before
it's not
mainstream
Like, it's not
close
like
Chris
it's not
D'Elia.
like a competitive thing. It was just like a weird, cool coincidence that we kind of had the same idea. And for me, where it came from is honestly, it was when I was a kid, like Chris D'Elia doing any girl, me doing specific girls in my comedy like impressions. It's kind of on like I think it comes from Family Guy's version of like fat women. Where there's like, oh my god, yeah, it's kind of like that. Like it's way back here. It's like,
I kind of want to play it,
and then it's
a
combined
sample
with, like,
of all of that.
it's
Like you
combined
doing
with,
the
like-
voice, Family Guy doing it, and Chris D'Elia.
yeah,
but
because
I gotta follow.
because
Like,
it's like the clip. Sorry, it's like the clip where like on Family Guy where it's like,
Do you like cake? Do you like my ass? Do you want to eat cake off my ass?
What kind of cake?
Angel food cake.
and then Chris D'Elia's like, where do I park? And then it's like me is like, the girls just like, oh, be a tourist in your own city, yeah. Like they're just like, worked up, just like, oh my god.
but do you plan on changing that, or do you
Well, man,
are you
like,
just gonna roll with
it's
it,
so
or are you gonna
natural to
introduce
me.
more voices? That's what I think, because it comes out of you a lot, even when you're just
Yeah.
riffing.
Yeah.
So like, what are you gonna do about it?
Like, I don't think it's that big of an issue. Like,
No, I don't I'm not saying it
like,
is.
If I was
I'm
to be
just asking.
famous, and then because I think my style is somewhat Chris D'Elia, where it's kind of like goofy.
Well,
and
even your
sometimes-
voice is kind of Crystal. There's a lot about you. Is,
I suppose. I don't know.
And
if
it
it's
doesn't even mean
intentional
to be,
or whatever,
but you can do other impressions, so it doesn't even matter.
yeah.
yeah,
Do you
they-
plan on doing
Well,
more?
you
'Cause
have that. You did
some.
you did your own Wilson bit about your balls.
Yeah.
yeah. Like
So, yeah, like that bit, like it didn't work that well on it. Did I do it at Yuck Yucks? I don't remember where I did it.
I've seen you do it. I don't know where I've seen you, but
I think I've only done
at
it
least
maybe
once
like
or twice.
twice. Yeah, so it's like, being a 20-year-old male, basically it's like being me, like having a penis is like having Owen Wilson for like a Siamese twin, because like my dick's just like captivated by everything, and then I just get in the Owen Wilson impression. I was like, oh wow, yeah, like, that's a nice butt. Wow, I like that butt. Wow. Yeah. And then it's like, and it's not even girls. It's literally like anything. It's like, wow, look at the thigh gap on that stool. That's impressive. I like that. I'm all about
Thigh
it.
gap on that stool. I like that a lot.
I like your energy. It's like, wow, yeah. And then like I want to get to a point where I can do like a Vince Vaughn impression, because then I can be like, and then my balls are just like frustrated, like over eager. You know what I mean? Like it's like having Vince Vaughn as a Siamese twin. There's like, hey man, you guys, like, you're doing you there. I don't really know. Like, I don't really know what you're doing. Like, you're doing you, I'm doing me. Do I come yet? Like, when do I come? When do I come in? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, should I just bail out?
Oh my
Like,
god, get them to talk back and forth. That would be good if you could change up real quick.
that would be like masterclass shit. Like,
I think you could do it, man.
man, like I don't know,
With
like
practice.
I think the Vince Vaughn thing, because the voice isn't that good. It's not terrible, but it's not that
But
good.
you get the
like,
mannerisms. It's the same.
when you get that
the
like
cadence.
like you're talking from here and it's like up here and you're just like you're looking down on because like I'm 6'7" or whatever.
and so like it's up there. Like the voice isn't.
But you can do that because if you ever
no, it's
listen
all
to
about the cadence and the way
if
he
you ever
says
listen
it.
to like Jim Carrey impressions, he doesn't always
They're
sound like what he's
mostly
doing.
face.
It's all his
Yeah.
face and the
Yeah.
physical aspects. He
Yeah.
has that spot on the voice sometimes.
Yeah, even Dana Carvey, I think he's seen
Yeah,
as like
yeah.
the master as far as recent times go.
Yeah.
His is he says it's all about the hook. You find one thing that they
Right.
say that exemplifies them and you blow it up. It's not about matching them. It's about making something that people instantly go, that's them. You
Yeah.
don't have to be them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Owen Wilson, you just say wow, and half the people there are like, oh my god, yeah, that's good, even though like it
Yeah.
might not be that good.
Yeah. Mine's awful, but I can say, wow. That's it. I wouldn't dare say a sentence.
Oh yeah, it's like I'm here with my pals. Like I'm with Sam.
It's all about
with
the
Matt.
vowels.
Matt,
You really
Matt
gotta
and Sam.
stretch out the
Yeah.
vowels.
We're just here. We're just trying to have a good time. Like, it's like
That's good.
here
man.
with my dogs.
I
in the
say
basement.
work more of that in. I love that. That's
I like
good at it.
Frank Caliendo. He's got some solid fucking.
I haven't heard of him in so long. Like
Impressions.
since
Yeah.
before I started getting
Yeah.
like really, really good, but like also just like irrelevant now for some reason.
Yeah, well, that is true. He doesn't. That's all he does. And it was
Yeah.
just the same. It was just like Jay Leno and
Yeah, wasn't he on
fucking,
Mad TV
John
too?
Madden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a long time. I'm obsessed.
yeah, his
I'm
John
obsessed
Madden,
with,
I
John,
remember
John
that.
Madden and Jay Leno. Those
That's a
were his
staple.
and Robin Williams. Those were his
Yeah.
three.
Right.
His big ones, I think.
I'm obsessed with like new impressions. Like I like if every time I hear,
Oh,
I don't
fucking
care
what's his
how
face
good of
is,
a, I don't care how
what's his
good
face
of a
is
Christopher
Mulaney
Walken
is.
I hear, but it's like fuck off. Jay Farrow did his Mulaney.
Jay Farrow's Mulaney was
That's
so
pretty cool.
fucking good. You ever
Yeah.
see
Seen
that?
Jay
No.
Farrow.
Holy
like, Jay
fuck!
Farrow,
We'll
like,
we'll
the
plug
black
that
guy.
right now too because he fucking
Yeah.
did it on the Tonight. Was it the Tonight Show he did it on?
No, I don't think it was Jimmy Fallon. I think it was
Kimmel?
Yeah, I think
It was
might have
Kimmel.
been
It was one of the Jimmys.
I think it was Kimmel.
Yeah.
What is the most obscure
impression that you do?
I think John Mulaney is like,
I'm John Mulaney. I'm on Jimmy Kimmel, and I'm loving it. It's amazing.
I do that one.
It was cool.
And now
like,
his fucking is really good.
Like he does Will Smith. He does like a lot of different rappers. He does Denzel.
Yeah.
Like he does mostly like black impressions. Eddie Murphy, like all the class, like Kevin Hart. And then he just pulled out a John Mulaney out of nowhere, and it was like pretty good.
Yeah, man, it's the change up.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And like the
That
fact,
sounds
yeah,
good.
it's a white, and you're like,
it's a
and
white,
John Mulaney
The
has,
most white guy.
and
Yeah.
John Mulaney has that voice that like it's a. If you hear John Mulaney, you'll never not hear John Mulaney.
Yeah, this
You'll know
guy
that voice.
works in HR, had an office
Yeah, that's
somewhere.
interesting. Have you guys watched the series on Netflix, The Stand-Ups? There's like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Dan Soder, he was on episode 6.
Yeah, I like Dan
the
Soder.
weed guy. He does some really good impressions too.
Nice.
Honestly, but they're like very, very niche. Like he does a really good Sam Elliott. He has like a great Macho Man. Even though like Macho, it's not hard to do like a mediocre Macho Man.
Yeah.
But it's hard to actually do it justice. He does a lot of good like deep raspy impressions. Like I love watching his. Anyone that can do a Vince Vaughn impression is just like you're the shit. I think.
Is that your favorite kind of comedy, or your favorite comedians do impressions? Do you think?
No. I think I have the most fun watching new impressions.
Something that hasn't been beat to the ground.
Yeah.
Because that's
when you see
like
someone
hacky
come on
when
the
you think about
Tonight
that.
Show and they just like pull out like a Robert De Niro face, I'm just like, oh my god, I hate you.
Yeah.
And like, you were saying
Done
too,
a million
like,
times.
fucking what's his face, Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So many people fucking do Christopher Walken, and it's like I don't want to see this.
There's
like,
no
it's
time
cool,
for it anymore because
but
you're not
it's-
adding anything.
It's like cool, but it's like
the encyclopedia of
whatever.
Christopher Walken impressions is full. There's no new.
Like, I
take
feel
on
like
it.
if I tried,
Exactly.
I could probably do a Walken impression, and I'm not an
Yeah,
impression
like
guy.
you could think of like I could never really.
I
get
think
a good
yours would be
one.
funny. It would be so. It would
but-
probably be off. Like it would probably
It
be
would probably
pretty
would be.
bad.
I'm trying to
and
think
that
I
would
could
be
do it
funny.
right now, like-
I think bad impressions are funny.
That's now I'm almost mixing like Schwarzenegger and Walken.
Well, that's because Schwarzenegger's the and then Walken's the
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like that's the fact. Like it's so lame at this point. I don't even care to like try it. Basically. But yeah, like new impressions are awesome. No, my favorite, like my 3 favorite comedians, the 3 comedians that I'd like to draw the most from, just based on accompanying my own kind of personality and like what I would like to be, would be I want to be like a healthy medium between like Chris D'Elia for just like his silliness and his physicality, John Mulaney for his wit and delivery, and then Hannibal Buress for his creativity.
I've gotten White Hannibal from a handful of people.
Yeah. I love Hannibal Buress.
And and there was something, I was listening to an old episode of You Made It Weird with Hannibal on it, and he was talking, and I was like, man, I can relate to a lot of the things he was saying too. And then I was just thinking how like people always just think that he's stoned all the time on stage, and I was like, I get that a lot too.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even smoke pot, and I was like, I don't smoke pot either. But I was just thinking like he's got those beady little eyes, like he just looks like he's stoned.
And he never looks at the audience.
And I do a lot of that too. Like you just looking up,
Like he just looks above them. He's just like like this. He's like,
I have a situation in my apartment right now. I have a surplus of pickle juice in my apartment. Too much pickle juice, because after the pickles are gone, I don't like throwing out the pickle juice. It just feels wasteful. So lately I've been dipping my fingers in the pickle juice, and then I flick it on my sandwiches for flavor. Like how many flicks does it take to properly flavor a ham sandwich? I say between 7 and 11, depending on how big your fingers are and how long you leave them immersed in the pickle juice. There's a lot of variables. I studied this.
I love what he did. You know the special where he did that and it was just him lip doing his own joke? Did you see that one? He had that on the.
like he played the audio.
He
and then
played the
lip-synced it?
audio of, or maybe he just sat there and he just like, he had like a projection or a projector or something, and he just played the clip of him doing one of his jokes. Like it was something ridiculous like that.
That's so
on
weird.
one of his specials.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny.
Remember at the Chappelle show when he did that shit? He did his will, or not really a will, but like a message to people after he died.
Oh,
this is
my,
gonna be
that
the
was
last
actually
time you see
hilarious.
me standing in the bathroom like this, like just doing normal shit, right?
and some of the shit was so fucked up, but it was hilarious.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And then he did his like date reviews, Tinder reviews, whatever the fuck, you know, because they have message boards where they talk about fucking famous people, like trophy fuckers.
Oh, and there was something to do with about him kicking the girl out of his room because he wanted to get the continental breakfast. He's like, just because I'm famous doesn't mean that I can't save a few dollars on free breakfast.
Fuck, that was fun. Yeah, he's great. He's a great show.
I fucking love Hannibal. What I don't know. Actually, I don't know where I was gonna go with that anyway. So nothing. Yeah.
I don't know who I would be if I was gonna be like you said. You named who you want to be like in terms of comedy. All my favorites are people I could never be anything like.
Well,
so it's kind of
the same.
I feel
too,
like, and this might be a little too on the nose. Like this might be a little too obvious, but like Bill Hicks a little bit. Just
because I'm angry.
Yeah, like you just kind of like you hate
and
you hate
fucking,
like society's institutions quite a bit.
Yeah, but then I also have like silly
And
short
you know about
jokes
them.
and
yeah,
like,
100%. Like I'm not saying you're that. That's what I mean. Like it might be a little bit too much. Like just like
Yeah,
it
no.
might be too much. Just like I'm just like looking at what you are and then just like making a obvious.
Well, no, I'm
comparison.
still. That's the thing, though, is I'm kind of trying to find myself, and I think that's the thing is it's kind of hard to do both. You can't be
Like,
this angry guy and then come out with
100%
fucking dick jokes.
And that relates to me a
It
lot.
depends on
where
how you do it. Though,
I
right? Like I go dark and silly.
Yeah.
But it's just a way of you get to almost toe the line of what you're saying. Like how people are gonna react to it. Like whenever I write a joke that's dark, I try to look at it from the silliest perspective that I can, so that even though they hear that premise and they get uncomfortable, they're like, "Oh, I see what he did." So I think maybe
definitely.
you know what I mean. Like if you're gonna go like offensive and silly, it's just a matter of finding the right way to do it. Because if you're like one extreme to another, you know what I mean?
But that's the thing. That's how, if I'm gonna do dark jokes, I'd rather do it kind of Hicksy, kind of straight on the nose. This is what I think. If I'm gonna do silly, well, I mean, that just comes to me naturally. And like, I wouldn't want to throw that out. I guess you're right. I do have to find a way to blend them, but I wouldn't want to do it the way you do it because I still want to do.
No, I'm not saying
good
do
points comedy. You know, good points.
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm not saying do it.
I fucking hate that I am that asshole. I don't want to be that guy.
No, you don't have to. It's fine.
I don't, man. I really
laugh,
like.
though.
Nobody wants to hear. Well, some people want to hear that. It doesn't have a mass appeal, or it can if you're good.
It's just a matter. You just work at it, right?
Yeah.
Like you look at like anything.
I mean, it's not like
Look
I'm
at
gonna stop comedy. Like, I don't know what road to go down. I'll just quit. Like,
look at
it's something I'm dealing with.
Anthony Jeselnik, man. Yeah, I'm sure that fucking guy got booed so
for
much
sure.
early on until he built a following.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of building a following. And right now we're in such a small market where you're very limited to the people.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to do this, but I also want to appeal to the people that are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big issue. I think if you get a bigger market, people are like, oh, I like what he does.
If you do stuff that's too like political or current affairsy out here, you're asking to fucking you're gonna lose them like right away, unless it's like a Trump joke.
Well, it depends on how you like. You know what I mean? Like I have that new joke about the national anthem.
Yeah, that's a good one though. That's one everybody knows about. I guess you just got to pick your spots.
You just have to, and it's like one, you can't do something that people aren't up to date on, and two, you have to make sure that you're not too far to the left or too far to the right. You kind of have to go somewhere in the middle so that everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're getting more people on board.
But then again, you look at Owen Benjamin. That guy's taken off just from being the right wing asshole in Hollywood. He's like the new Adam Carolla, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Is Owen Benjamin the guy, like he often does shit on like the keyboard?
I don't know about that.
Owen Benjamin, like he's always like tearing apart like songs and pop music and stuff. He's like tall,
I haven't seen that.
And he wears a suit sometimes for no reason.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though because I'm like just getting into him now, but that doesn't sound like him.
He was on Last Comic Standing before.
Not sure. But while you're looking at that, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you have any like aggressive, angry jokes? And what do you do with them? How do you?
Yeah, because you're very silly. I find you don't have anything
definitely.
that is like.
And that's
dark
kind of
that's
sense. A bit of a recent thing for me. Recent in terms of since I've
that is true because actually I remember early on you talked about how you used to go up and you said you felt like you didn't.
When I started out, I felt like man, I don't know. I kind of the appeal of some people not being on board with what you're saying, but the fact that they still have to sit there and listen to you. That like at first that really appealed to me, and I like my favorite comedians when I was younger, like. Or at least during a phase of like being like 13 to 15, like I loved Daniel Tosh.
Nice,
I like Jeselnik a lot, and so that kind of thing. So like my stuff was like somewhat offensive. I had some silly stuff too, but it was kind of like I tried and played with things that didn't go over well.
I feel like Tosh and Jeselnik kind of shaped me.
I kind of decided
Jeselnik for the misdirection and Tosh for the silly dark shit.
I
But yeah.
decided I didn't want to do that. I just want people to have like a kind of fun.
Well, actually, you know, I
I want people to
remember.
have fun at my comedy
I
show.
remember
Imagine.
when you
And I
first
think that, like naturally, that's what I can be anyway. Like
when you did
just a fucking silly guy, man.
when you first came back and you did we did that Garrett Clark show at the Villiards.
Yeah.
And you did the mic drop and you did that fucking super dark joke about fucking Africans and
Oh yeah, but that
in
was
their
presented
hut
in
and shit
such
like
a
that.
silly way.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was
But,
super
yeah,
silly, but it was a dark.
It was dark, yeah, but
And
yeah,
you,
it
the,
was
you,
like-
the, and then you fucking did the mic drop, and you got in trouble for breaking the mic.
Man, that was the worst one of my life. Like every now and then I think about that and I cringe.
Because it wasn't even a mic drop. Like it was an expensive. It was a wireless mic. It was
Son of a
not.
bitch.
I thought it harder than I expected. Because there was like a carpeted floor. I thought it just kind of landed to be fine. But no, it was because I was making fun of like Quispam Sis or whatever. I was like, that's literally the most effeminate. Like that's like you cannot have street cred if you're from Quispam Sis or whatever. And I was like no one ever has had Quispam Sis like tatted across their stomach. And then but little did the audience know I wrote Quispam's I wrote Quispam Sis like across my stomach. And then at the end, like when I finished, I pointed out someone that didn't laugh at my joke, and I was like, do you want to go?
Yeah, what's your
I was
fucking problem or
like,
whatever?
seriously,
Yeah.
do you have a problem? And then I took off my shirt and then revealed the Quispam Sis. And then I thought, just in that moment, it would just fit the attitude.
People
of what
would
I was
laugh and then
finishing
he
on
mic drop
with a
and-
little mic drop.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the case.
Misread it.
Yeah.
I did love that bit that you did about the fucking. What was like people complaining about food or some shit like that, and then you compared it to you think that someone in Africa.
No, it's
is
like,
just
kids are entitled.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah.
about kids being really entitled and stuff, and how like we reward kids for eating food by giving them better tasting food. Like what the fuck is dessert?
Yeah.
Like that's so shitty. And it's like kids finish their food, like, oh, I finished my food, I'm ready, like I want fucking cookies or whatever. It's like, in Africa, it's not like some 5-year-old girl in a hut somewhere, and then she just comes out, she's like, "Mommy," and I just I did a really middle-aged African man voice for a 5-year-old African girl. So that was just a little turn in your mind or whatever. And then I was like, Mommy, I finished my bowl of flies. What is for dessert, Mommy? Mommy, what is for dessert?
You're playing to the right audience here with that one.
So that's kind of it was like I finished my food. Mommy, I finished my bowl of flies. So I kind of revealed it after that. It was a bowl of flies.
But then
everyone's just like, oh
What does she get for dessert?
man,
You could tag the shit out of that all day
turned
long.
it around to the mom being dead or almost.
Oh yeah. That's what it was.
I blew the fucking my mic
That's what it
there.
was. I was like, Mommy, I finished my dessert. I finished my bowl of flies. Mommy, what is for dessert? What is for dessert? And then I was like, and then meanwhile, Mom's just in the corner because she's dead probably.
It's
And then I was just like-
It's
and then I stopped
Africa.
and I was like,
statistically,
I was like, right, you guys? She's probably dead, don't you think?
you're like it's
And, I
it's
just looked
Africa,
at the
so
audience for,
statistically,
God, that's
she's
great.
probably dead.
Yeah, that was a fun bit, but it throws
really
people
funny.
off.
And AJ Griffin was in the
It's
front
hard to
row.
follow
I
it.
remember you opened your setup talking about her.
Yeah, I was just like, your campaign really didn't really take off.
You were like, "Hey, she almost won." What was that? You pretended talking to your earpiece. Oh, she didn't. I'm so sorry. And then you're like,
it wasn't close.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I have no idea who that is.
She
She's
was
just
running.
a politician.
Yeah.
She ran in her campaign, and it wasn't close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was another thing.
She's
I
a big
did that-
comedy fan, though. She's at all the shows.
I did that, and even
she's
though that might
friends
have
with me on Facebook.
maybe that was kind of funny, maybe it wasn't. I honestly kind of felt bad about it. I felt bad about saying it.
To her or
Yeah,
the,
like a little.
I thought that was funny though.
It was probably funny. It was probably fine, but
The best part-
I just
the
felt
best
a little,
part-
self-conscious about it.
And I know
I was
that
like,
you probably regretted
even
it
say it.
after it, but when you fucking did your Australian impression and pretended to be Garrett Clark at the very
Yeah.
beginning, because Garrett Clark was headlining, and he
Nice.
walked in holding the poster.
On the poster, his hair is swept to the side. He's got a light stubble. He's handsomer than I am, I think. But anyway, he's a moderately handsome guy, thin, and he's wearing a black V-neck T-shirt, which is what I happen to be wearing. It didn't not necessarily look like me. So I walked out there and I was like, fucking yeah! decided to come on. I decided to open up the show.
That's amazing.
My name's Garrett. And I was just like,
and Garrett was there, and you called everybody cunts, didn't you?
yeah. Yeah. I was like, yeah, fucking Garrett Clark, yeah, you cunts. Or something.
What, did he say anything about it?
I don't think so. And then I was just like, no, can you guys imagine if I just tanked his career right now? Like, what if I just did that? What if I just opened the show that way? Wouldn't that be fun? And then
it's a great way to bail out of that too.
Afterward, I was just like, oh, did I make a great mistake? Was that bad?
Did people laugh?
Maybe.
I laughed. I thought it was hilarious.
I was in the moment, man. I was in the moment.
So long as people laugh, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but
that was I remember that. That was it was a weird show as a whole, but it was fun. It was fun.
It was a pretty weird show. I mean, I got pizza and I got paid for it a little bit, so I was happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I always like.
That was the funniest thing. Is like I almost broke their very, very expensive microphone, but like they still gave me money.
Yeah.
That's what made me feel dirty about it.
Yeah.
You know,
that is kind of whack.
It was like I know I'm not getting paid a lot and not enough to cover this microphone, but like take it anyway.
Yeah.
You got a lot of guilt in your life, man. What's going on here?
I don't know.
The microphone. Oh, I said that mean thing to a politician. Oh no.
Like a politician hasn't said mean things before.
I just want people to have a nice time.
It's a noble thing, sir.
Yeah.
Noble. I don't. I want to shit all over everything. That's why I got into comedy. Fuck you.
Do you guys know that Jason Rouse is coming back to town next month? Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like him.
You don't know if you do or if you
I
have
don't
you
know
seen
if
him?
I would. I've never seen
Yeah.
him.
Check him out when he comes.
I remember
to
him from Much Music, but I've never seen him do.
Check him out.
Comedy.
He's fucking. It's so offensive, man. Like, there's not a single. If you were like, if that room was full of, like, if they had like a feminist fundraiser shit or something like that, it would be fucking hilarious because they would be so fucking mad.
I was just gonna say, like, offensive comedy that's offensive for the sake of being offensive is funny if the audience is like
on board for it, like, or like
no, I was
or
gonna say,
if they're not at all.
That's funny for me.
Yeah,
to see that because that's like just a, it's a weird dynamic and stuff like that. But like to go to a show and like for me, like my sense of humor and stuff like that, like to just hear guys like just like say like dirty things, like fucked up things, is like it's kind of entertaining, but I don't find it
what
funny.
I like what I like about him is just the crowd reaction. That's what I love the best about it, because the shit that he says is so fucked up, and he'll just talk about like raping and murdering people in the crowd, and he just gets so fucking dark and fucked up with it. And some of the examples, like, you know what I mean, like he's like my balls look like, and he just and you're just like, how the fuck do you think of this shit? But it's like he's got that thing where like he's got the basis for all his jokes, and the rest of it goes in the way that the crowd. Mm-hmm. So he'll just go up there for like an hour and just go with wherever the crowd takes him, and he'll just rip apart someone in the crowd and just go wherever, and they'll go to someone else. One of the bartenders at Yuck Yucks was walking by while he was performing, and he like grabbed her hair and he like smelled it in the middle of the fucking show, and then he just started fucking like ripping her apart. It was just it was so fucked up, but it was fucking hilarious.
I mean, I like that kind of crowd work, but I'm with Thane that like usually offensive for the sake of being offensive.
There's just something about the way he does it. You know what I mean? Because I've seen offensive where I'm like, that's just offensive. That's not funny. But I think it's because it's involving the crowd. Yeah. He's not just straight up saying offensive jokes. He's getting them involved in it. Yeah. And it's so fucked up and funny though.
I can see it being funny and stuff. I just I that's not like what I would like look forward to.
Like it's like, okay, he has this one bit. He's like,
we got some kids over there. Look at you kids learning some new words. So I'm fist fucking this nun, right? Huh? Look at you cute little bastards. I always wanted kids, but I could never catch them. I got a bad knee and it's hard to run in a clown costume with a heart on. At least you didn't have my father. My father was very strict. Caught me and my younger brother smoking in the house. My dad decided to punish us. So he took us out in the backyard, pulled out one of those great big Cuban cigars, and then he made us suck his cock. Let's just say I don't smoke anymore. No, but my brother does. I'm joking! There was no cigar. Just Papa Cock.
Jesus.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Man, I like not to go back to Chris D'Elia and make it sound like I'm actually intentionally ripping off anything to do with him. I like his crowd work a lot though, where like he'll just like see a guy wearing shorts and just acknowledge that, like, dude, it's like 10:30 p.m. He's like, were you just out today and then just stayed? Like, do you just, like, that's just like, that's not even like, if you read that, that's not funny. But it's like, that's a weird
But a
way
lot
to
of
put
Chris
it.
D'Elia stuff is not funny if you just read it.
Yeah, that's
he's
what I mean,
all
like,
about his
like, and he's talking about like there's a guy who's like got sunglasses hanging on his shirt. And he's like what are you preparing for? Like, do you think like the roof is just gonna get torn off and the sun's gonna be out at 11? Like, and you're just gonna be like, yeah, fuck you, got like, yeah, who's laughing now? Like, it's like shit like that. Like, it's so weird and like.
I love the bit that he did on the most recent special about how gay buying pants.
Yeah. Think about this. How could you be a grown man and buy another grown man pants without seeming like you suck all the dicks, okay? Here's the gay part. They fit fantastic. I don't even know how he knew my size. I don't even know my own size. I always have to try pants on. This dude literally eyeballed my hips. And he was like, looks like a 33, and he fucking nailed it, okay? That's gay. It's gay. And by the way, that's what I mean. I mean, it's gay. I mean, it's gay, all right? And I'm saying it twice because I want to clarify. I want you guys to know that I mean it, okay? Because nowadays, people get real sensitive when you use that term, right? They'll be like, you know what, that's actually not cool to use that word in a derogatory manner. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I don't mean it in a derogatory way. I mean, is gay like fucking a guy, okay? Buying your friend's pants that fit is gay like fucking a guy. And that's okay. Fuck guys all day long. Yippee! But it's gay like that, okay? You know, I actually think it's gayer than fucking a guy. I do. I do. I think buying your friend's pants that fit and wrapping them and waiting to give it to him is way gayer than just fucking him. I think that. Like, you can't build a restaurant if you're not a fucking architect, right? Like, here, look, let me explain. If I held a gun to your head, you don't need a special skill set, is what I'm saying. You don't need a special skill set to fuck a guy, right? If I held a gun to your head and I said, fucking, are you an architect? And, okay, wait, and you were like, no, right? And I was like, well, you better build me a restaurant or I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out. You'd have to be like, tell my family I love them. But if I held that same gun to your head and I said, are you gay? And you were like, no. And I said, well, you better fuck a guy or I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out. You'd be like, where is he? That's how easy it is. It's so easy, and that's why it's less gay. Dude, it's so easy to fuck a guy. You know what? You could practically fuck a guy by mistake. That's how, no, not practically, you actually could. It's very unlikely, don't worry. But, and I don't even mean the mistake where you're like, sorry, I thought it was a woman the whole time. I mean like literally a mistake. Like, how? Okay, here's how. If you were to walk into a room with your hard dick already out, okay? So far, every dude's on board, right? And in the room, the floor is really slippery, okay? And on the floor, there's one dude face down, and he's just spreading his asshole open. Even then, even if you slip, you'd probably catch yourself. You'd be like, whoa, oh, that was a close one. But there's a chance you could fall the other way. You'd be like, what? No, oh, boink, whoopsie, you fucked him by mistake, okay? But there is no way in hell that you can slip and fall and buy your friend's pants that fit. No matter how wet Macy's is, it just can't happen. It's impossible. It won't happen.
I guess another comedian worth mentioning. Do you guys like Rory Scovel?
I like how silly and ridiculous he is. I haven't watched his Netflix special though. I just watched that.
Good.
All I've seen a little bit. I saw him set list.
Half hour of his Netflix special, like. It had me in tears multiple times.
I see. I've seen him. I've seen a set list, and I've seen like little clips of him online. And I watched that other one, the Batman one, which was hilarious. You ever seen that? His Batman bit is fucking hilarious.
And like it seemed like he just kind of had like a couple of points, and then he just riffed on them. It didn't seem honed at all.
What was it?
And it wasn't like it was at like a big set. It was just like some shitty club that they like, you know, filmed on a camcorder.
Yeah.
And then uploaded it. Like
I remember The Dark Knight. That was the first time I realized Batman's actually an asshole. Mr. Gordon's like his ally. That's like his friend. but yet he still ropes him into a conversation and then just fucking bolts. You know what I mean when he looks away? What do you think about this Harvey Dent guy? Well, I gotta tell you, Batman, I've been looking at the file, and my personal opinion, I think... Batman? Batman! You're on the corner? Why do you do this? I'm an adult! Just say goodbye and leave! Look at a fucking idiot. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? I'm chatting it up with Batman. You're wondering, I'm not just talking to myself in here. Yes, I am. I'm friends with Batman. What the fuck do you? You're an intern. Get the fuck out of here. Fucking go fax something. Fucking tell me who I'm friends with. You're a real fucking attitude. Sarah? Sarah! No! That would legitimately be weird, though, if Batman said goodbye to people. Dressed the way he's dressed and still says goodbye. Jesus, got any goddamn grappling hooks. You know how many times I've shot this, didn't latch on to anything, came back, hit me in the goddamn face? That's why I wear a mask. I don't want anybody to see the bruises. Ooh, that's pretty cool. First try. I'm gonna put it on slow. I don't want to get out of here too quick. What are you guys getting into tonight? You guys getting into anything? I might grab a pizza or something. I don't know. Oh, I'm snagged on something. Oh God, someone's playing with the string up there. No, don't twirl it! Don't twirl it, no! Oh, Jesus! Oh, shit! Shit! Oh! Oh, God, no. No, I would have clapped at that, too, if I didn't have this mic in my hand.
I watched the first 10 minutes of it, and man, I can't remember what he did, but it was just something very repetitive and annoying. And I was like, that's enough of that.
The first 4 or 5 minutes is you really have to hang on. He really makes it. So he keeps saying the word anal for 3 minutes straight.
Oh, yeah.
He's anal. Anal? You guys do anal? Anal. This is the show. Show. This is all of it. Anal? And he just says it until the word means nothing to you anymore. And then he starts actually breaking down anal, and he's talking when you get to that point where she's just it's just not gonna it will go. It will go. Anal is he's it's like putting a lime into a Corona bottle. And he's your first question's always who cut these? He breaks down Ultimate Frisbee for 3 minutes, and it's it had me crying. I've watched it twice. It's really, really good. Yeah.
We should probably find a way to close this out, I think we're just about there.
Yeah.
You got anything coming up, Thane?
Man, hosting Sunday After Dark, March, I want to say 11th.
Yeah, next Sunday.
11th.
Next Sunday. A lot of new faces. If you haven't, not a lot of I can't talk today.
Every time you do that, you look like Adam Sandler. I don't know what it is. I like it a lot, though. Keep doing it.
Doing what?
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
We got the 11th. A lot of fresh faces, new faces.
Yeah.
There's your boy Eric's on it. He's coming back. He's busting his. I was looking actually at the lineup. And I put a lot of comics on it because I figured there'd be shorter sets.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that maybe if there's more comics on it, it might draw a bigger crowd.
Well, absolutely, especially an open mic.
Yeah, if everybody brings. So that's almost my thoughts is maybe when we're not doing something fancy, we just fucking have 1 million people on the show.
100%, man.
But not 1 million. You can't do
16.
I've done 16 at Wilson's before, and I'm no. But you have to make sure people aren't going over on their time. So that's a big thing. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that there's some fucking fresh faces and some fucking.
That's terrifying. We gotta have a
talented fucking people.
I hate that, man. I hated when I came back and all you guys were there. I was like,
I like seeing people though because it's I use it.
Sorry, you're old now. You're older than me somehow. I don't know how it happened.
In some way,
yeah. I like that to me, it drives me.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely, I'm a competitive guy, but at the same time, just fuck you.
But it's like you need that though. You
Comedy
do need
is
that.
dying. Don't you understand? Right? Get out.
I think you need that. Like when because we were only like 6 months in when Chris Avi came, and he has been fucking tearing it up in the first chunk.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take anything away from Shand, Dan Terrio, and John Scove Nielsen because they're all doing well too. But like the level, like I feel like Chris came out of the gate and was already better than like half of the people in the province. And
some people just got it, man.
And he just hasn't slowed down. Yeah. And I'm like, holy fuck, man.
I'm in love with Chris Avi.
He's fucking a talented motherfucker, man. Yeah. And he's like, there's just something. There's really. And he doesn't go notes. He doesn't do notes. And I do notes. I do notes more at open mic, so I can go up and polish my setup when I need to. Yeah. But like even at open mics, he can do it, and he flows so smoothly. And his segue, like you know what I mean. You're just like, man, I never once like you know what I mean. I'll do this thing like I'll do when I got a transition, and if I don't have a transition, like if I'm like, okay, this chunk is done, now I need to get to this chunk. A lot of the times I'll be like, oh man, I say that a lot. I'll say, oh man, and then that's what me thinking of what's going next. Or sometimes I'll do this, like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
And I'll say the bit, and then sometimes if I'm not sure, I throw the Candy Crush joke out because I know that I'm like, what do I want to talk about now? Oh, I passed my grandmother on Candy Crush. And then I know that joke so well, and it's just short enough that I can think of what's coming next. So very rarely when I say that joke, except for when I did it on the album, is it planned. It's just because I'm like, fuck, what's next?
I'm just going to start saying like random obscenities whenever, just to kill time, so I don't say, well, what's next?
Yeah, I try not to say, like,
donkey punch. Fuck you.
Donkey punch. I try not to say, but, shit like that. Unless it's intentional, because I see that some people and it hurts my head so much.
Yeah.
But like part of my cadence on stage, I do that. Like I'm like, and then I say something ridiculous, and that like prolonged is what it kind of adds something to it.
Sometimes those things like those weird transition filler words, like most of the time they're unnecessary and they hurt your set. Like they're shitty. I used to do it a lot, but sometimes like there's some comedians that almost like trademark words in some ways. Like Bill Burr when he just goes right, like that's that's Bill Burr. Like no one can say right anymore because that's Bill Burr. Yeah. They're like fucking Nate. Who is it? Nate. He's He's the first guy on the stand-ups. He's one of my favorite comedians. I can't think of his last name.
Oh, yeah, I know. I forget his last name, but I know who you're talking about.
I don't know why it's not coming to me right now. But anyway, like he goes, so, all the time.
Yeah.
He always goes, yeah, like he'll say his bit and he's like, you know, and like I was in Walmart and like the guy, you know, he didn't even work there, so, and like he says that and it like it becomes funny.
Yeah.
Or something, or like it works for you. Like sometimes those filler words, like if you find the right one or something, or you say the right way,
you know, a lot, and it is not funny. I gotta cut that shit.
Sometimes those words.
Yeah, sometimes just saying something because like I
joke.
Yeah. I say but I don't. I never say unintentionally. Yeah. That's one thing I try to drill into me. Yeah. I don't. I fucking hate that unless it's actually written in my joke, my joke. Then
I do say a lot naturally, but then there are definitely some other times.
You know what? Even back. I listen to. There's a lot of. And that's your
Nate Bargatze.
You know what? I think you say it. Nate Bargatze. That's Nate right. Bargatze. Yeah. Oh yeah, he does a hammock joke too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The hammock trifecta.
You guys gotta start a fucking support group.
No, we're gonna tour. It's called the Hammocks Are Us or something.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of hammocks, we got one over there.
In case you wanna.
Take
a nap before you go home.
I think it's your Ontario thing, man, because I hear a lot of people that say that from Ontario.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Ontario comedians, and I'll listen to them, and they say, was it right?
Yeah, like one word,
yeah.
Y apostrophe now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's what they say. I hear that a lot. You know what I mean?
No, I mean?
You know what I mean?
Nah, I mean. I'm gonna start saying that instead. Nah, I mean.
There's I could probably name you 6 Canadian comics that I listen to, and I hear that all the time.
Norm.
You know what I mean?
Norm, fucking all day long.
Oh yeah, Norm does say it a lot too. Yeah. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's a big
thing.
You know
what I mean? Yeah.
was down at one of those convenience stores, and he always says, over things that everybody knows.
Yeah,
I know what a convenience store is. Tell me the joke.
Oh, the fuck.
That's just me building the suspense. I'm not getting to the end of this fucker.
Yeah, that's right. I was eating food, for sustenance.
That was kind of Steve Fudgy. Eating that food, for sustenance. He would say it slower and more jazzy, but it would be for sustenance,
He'd do this.
A little slower. Anyway, are we good?
Yeah.
Natty, what do you got coming up?
What do I got coming up?
What you have coming up is what I have coming up.
Yeah, a week from, I guess not a week from today because of
the
podcast doesn't come out until maybe not today.
Right.
Today for you listening, but not today for us talking. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, March 11th, as they mentioned, we got Sunday After Dark at McGill's in St. John. 8 p.m. start. You can find us on Facebook, Sunday After Dark. Dane's hosting. I'm just performing, and a slew of other young pups. We got, what else I got? I got March 17th. I am back at the R Bar with some more new material.
Ooh, that'd be nice to get on.
New material. Do it, man.
Just show up.
Just show up.
It's almost always a dropout.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I'm running over. I got a show, and I'm going to run over anyway, just in case. Well, see my boy, too, but...
Yeah.
boy.
And then we got, oh, fuck. And then there's, we bringing set list back on the 25th this month?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the 25th, we'll have that. And then I also have on the 29th, it's a Thursday. That's when the pop-up show, the first pop-up show. Thursday, showtime's at 7 p.m., which is kind of unfortunate. It's early.
Well, Yuck Yucks pulls it off.
But they pull, they pull 7 o'clock for
7
amateur
okay.
night, 7:30 for. Yeah, doors at 6, shows at 7. We're starting the show at 7 o'clock, whether you're there or not, because we need to be done and cleared out by a certain 9 o'clock or something like that. As we mentioned before, find it on Kijiji, find it on Facebook, find it on Instagram, find it anywhere you can find it. Buy some tickets, get a hold of us. It'll be a cool show. That's I think all I have this month.
Cool.
That I'm aware of.
I got a couple maybes, but really the only thing I have to plug here is once again the Shane Show. Shane Ogden presents Shane Ogden at the St. John Arts Center. It's about a 50-seater, and we're actually this is not bullshit. We are moving tickets, and if you want one, you should probably speak up soon. 7:30 start, $3.50 for some green beer. Great way to start St. Paddy's Day. Why the fuck not?
All right, nice.
Yeah, we're starting early so it doesn't step on people's bar. St. Paddy's Day is a bar hopping night.
Yeah.
You don't want to be
And
seated
the
all
R
night.
Bar is the same night.
Yes. So I'm going to try and be at both, but it's way
Spud.
more important that you pay us money at the Shane Show. Right. Go there first. Then you can come with me to the R Bar if you want to go.
Yeah, if you want to see it, don't pay to go to the Shane Show if you're coming to see Matt.
Well, come on.
Matt Keenan. I didn't get booked on that show. So come to fucking steal my venue, you motherfucker.
I had nothing to do with it.
No, I'm just joking. It's not my venue. It's a fucking art center. I don't own that thing. I actually haven't even paid them for the last show yet. They haven't emailed me, man.
This is going to be another debt for you. Nobody's ever going to give you a credit card again.
Yeah. No.
All right.
So I got and we got April. April is looking good for us too for the Maritime Millennials, man. I have a busy as fuck April.
We don't need to get into it.
I have exams, you guys, so I think I win.
Your life is awful. Kill yourself.
Thank you.
Actually, that's a lie. I was told I was on a show, and then I saw a lineup for said show that I'm not on, and I was like, but all is good.
Bitch.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I guess that's it. Then you got anything you want to say to the people?
No, I don't really care about people. Yeah, no, I guess I will say, pop-up show at the end of the month, Sunday After Dark, and I'm probably going to try to get on Wilsers in April.
Yeah, do it. Actually, maybe see if they need a host, if you want to host. Because I know Joe is taking it over now, and he doesn't always want to host. So that could be a potential if you want that.
I'd ponder.
I know you
I
like
have some new,
hosting.
I have a new 5 to 7 minutes that I kind of just want to.
Yeah,
try out
that's
there.
also a thing too.
Same.
I'm closing that fucker out.
Nice, man. I don't know. I gotta piss, you guys.